Wow, 100. And did you also, I'm sure you were there to go ahead and register your gardeners so they could vote in the next election?
Well, that's not my responsibility. Nobody asked me, I'll give you this driver's license if you turn in some of these illegal aliens.
So is it just...
I say everybody's it's one man for himself.
I've been watching some exciting television here at CRN at our main studio. We have a dumpster in the back, and we've got a security camera on it, and it's real exciting viewing because over the weekend you can see these guys come in these rented pickup trucks, and they dump trash in our dumpster here at CRN Digital Talk Radio.
It's construction stuff.
Yeah, materials. And I figured it out. It's like these guys probably really lowball a construction site. They say, yeah, sure, we'll go clean that all up for you. We'll get it for you. And instead of going to the dump and paying the fees like we all would do.
Well, they tell them they go to the dump.
Yes, but
they charge them.
They dump at our place.
That's right.
And they throw it in there. And so I was out there trying to see if I could round up a couple of those people to see if they'd vote for Trump in the next election because I'm sure they're illegal.
You now have to pay for it.
Well, at least if we get a vote, for the Russians. At least we get somebody to vote for the Russians. I think I had to take care of stuff over there.
So I'm at the DMV.
Yeah. Sorry for the digression.
Yeah. I'm standing in line, and my good friend Vito Scataglia and his daughter Carrie.
Vito Scataglia?
Yes.
You're connected to...
That's his name.
This is Vito Scataglia.
That's right.
Thank you, Fred.
So
You'll
Fred,
pass 100%. I guarantee it.
Look nice for the people, Fred.
Look good. Be good, Freddie. Look good there for him.
So I zoomed the test and went over and got a chance to spend a couple times with my pal.
He works at the DMV. A guy named
He runs it.
The guy named Vito Scataglia.
He runs it. Officer Vito Scataglia.
Excuse me.
He runs the DMV, boys.
Mr. Scataglia. I'm sorry I mentioned anything about
He's that Scataglia.
That's the guy. Okay. I'm going to go bring him some pasta right after the broadcast today. Sorry, Mr. Scataglia. Is that correct? I'm getting nervous now.
Yes.
I didn't even say his name. Thank you, Vito. Mr. Scataglia.
Message and data rates may apply.
You're probably familiar with the term crash and burn. A huge failure. But do you know the term burn and crash? That's when you take a fat burner that gives you a whole bunch of energy, but later you get the dreaded crash. Look, if you want to burn body fat, really melt your fat during workouts so you look and feel great, try Lean Fire XT. It uses a new concept called thermovigilance that helps you burn fat from your waist, hips, thighs, all over, with virtually no jitters and no crash. For a limited time, every man and woman in America can try a complimentary bottle. Get yours by texting LOW to 202020. Lean Fire XT comes from the award-winning experts at Force Factor, and it's already a top-selling diet pill at GNC because it works. Don't settle for less. Get your complimentary bottle by texting LOW to 202020. If you burn too much fat, please decrease use of Lean Fire XT. That's LOW to 2020.
Welcome back. We're in the Sports Lounge, coming to you from CRN Digital Talk Radio across the nation on this great radio station, this cable system. I'm Michael Horn with the star of our show, the legend, the football legend, the acting legend, the iconic Mr. One and Only Fred Dryer. By the way, your show Hunter is being shown. Is it on Icon TV? Is that correct? Where they show that?
That's the rumor.
Yeah. And so many great lands. And by the way, somebody came up to you just the other day and said, hey, I caught you on Agent X. Did they renew that series on TNT with Sharon Stone?
No.
It was a good show. I liked it.
Well, it was a good show. It had some good people in it.
McGraney,
Gerald and Sharon, and it had some good people in it. But the truth of the matter was,
what was it?
They had creative problems with the show, getting it. It became too thick in the middle.
What does that mean? Was that an acting term or something?
It's just too involved, too many characters. It was landlocked. It couldn't rise above the tide and get out to sea, as they say.
So it was landlocked. It's like
it becomes a turd in a punch bowl. Is what it becomes.
All right, so let's get into Brandon McCartney if we could. Really won't talk about that anymore. Brandon McCartney, Dodger pitcher, and others on some other teams got a little upset last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, because if you watched any of the games on the Memorial Day, Monday, all the teams had camouflage green hats on with their team logo on it. And so apparently Brandon McCartney tweeted and saying, this is not nice to go ahead and be charging money for these hats when these people gave their lives for their country. And right? Was that the deal? It went out?
Well, I guess. I mean, there it is right there.
Well, but here's what Brandon didn't know and a few others didn't, because I had other radio stations talk about this. The money for the sales went to charity. That's what makes it all right, doesn't it, then?
Well, again, you want to know why I'm cynical.
Why?
Wouldn't you, before you just started tweeting on your extra time and you had idle thumbs, you just decided to go into the men's room of the locker room with nothing to do and tweet something this half-baked, thought out that would embarrass you?
Well,
I'm
agree.
Asking the legitimate question.
It's a good, and I would not, but we're in the era of fake news. So as soon as a thought,
that's not.
I know, but as soon as a thought
excuse.
Gets into somebody's mind, they just blurt it out.
Yeah, that's right, and that's why people get stuck in these situations. This is a foolish thing for him to say, and I'm no doubt that he's a big fan of those who have sacrificed their lives for the greater good. But to not say, hey, what are we doing with these uniforms? What are we doing with these hats? And someone would say, well, we're making them available, and all the proceeds go to Wounded Warriors or a charity of some sort locally. And then he would say, hey, that's a great thing. That would change his tweet.
Yes, it would.
Wouldn't it?
It would change his tweet.
Yeah, and still, now we have to comment on this crap. I don't like commenting on this stupidity. I just don't.
Okay.
Because you wind up you have to apologize. Okay. I'm not asking for an apology.
Okay.
I'm just saying that yet again, here is another idiotic statement by an athlete who hasn't thought it through. He should call Colin Kaepernick to get his thinking squared away before he does that.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, since we're talking baseball a little bit, Mike Trout having a fabulous year hitting home runs. He is the first time in his career, and I know you hate it when I say this, on the DL because he slid into second base and sprained the thumb. But that's a legit injury, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He didn't plan to do it, I don't believe.
No.
But again, you've got another ball player on the DL. The season is 50 games old, and the entire conversation, and these pages that I'm holding up here, I see those. is geared toward people being hurt. If it's pro football players, in their OTAs, right, or it's somebody that's decided that I fell off a horse or whatever it might be. Nothing is more overwhelming today in today's sports world than people being hurt. And that's what we wind up with.
And what's the difference between this era of baseball player and the past eras when I was a kid growing up, and you'd have Sandy Koufax throwing 2 games in a doubleheader if he could, pitching 9 innings and not worried about the arm. Okay, so Sandy Koufax's career was cut short, but other pitchers were not. They just went through and played. And so what's the deal? It's like every time there's a pimple on somebody's finger or a blister, they're out on the DL. What is the difference? Is it the agents? Is it the makeup of the players? What do you see as a former player?
Basically, you can take a look and spread it out over a couple of categories of laziness, people not being prepared. If you take a look at the bodies of I'll just pick out one group of people, pro football players.
Okay.
If you take a look at how yoked these guys are and how fragile they are at the same time, I can't for the life of me, think of the 20 plus years I played organized sports, whether it's one sport or another, where you would be faced with this type of an injury list, and these guys are supposed to be spending all the time in the weight room and taking these drugs and and getting bigger and stronger and faster. And then when they step out on the field, whether it's an OTA, 2 or 3 day, 4 or 5 day exhibition here with their teams here before training camp opens up in July and commences the season, you've got people now who are literally running for the training room because their legs are tight.
Yeah.
Or they've hurt their neck, or they their arm is sore. Half the pitchers in Major League Baseball hit about 20 days, around the 20th day of camp, from February to right around the end or the beginning of March. You start seeing everybody now with sore shoulders.
Yeah.
That is just indicative of people not knowing how to prepare themselves for their job description, which they're getting paid billions.
Let me ask you a personal question. Playing football, season ends. Did you take a few weeks off, and then did you start working out for the next season? What was a typical off season from the regular grind of the schedule for Fred Dryer? What did you do at the end of the season?
I will tell you, but I'm this is just me.
Yeah.
And this isn't.
I'm curious.
This isn't. This isn't to be, determined that I think everybody should do it.
Okay.
Because I don't. Because a lot can't, nor will they. I don't do anything when the season's over with. I don't do anything. I take about 6 to 8 weeks off.
Totally.
Of running and jumping and lifting and everything else, and I concentrate solely on diet and stretching.
Interesting.
That's what I did. That's what I kind of still do to this day.
So for 6 weeks, diet and stretching.
Yeah, I'll drop 15, 16, 18 pounds because I'm not eating a lot. I'm not lifting weights a lot. But I home in on stretching my neck, my back, my pelvis, everything that's necessary. So when I go back to lifting weights, in
You've got the form.
March, April, and May, I'm now ready to do it, and I don't get hurt doing it.
I like that answer.
Well, that's the answer, isn't it?
We continue on the Sports Lounge.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Credit cards are sure fun to use, perhaps a little addicting, and they kind of make you feel rich. Well, if you're like most Americans, you've got over 5 maxed out credit cards in your pocket right now, and you can barely make the minimum payments, right? I'd like to personally recommend a company called DebtHelper.com. DebtHelper.com is a licensed and insured nonprofit debt management agency. They can help cut your interest rates by as much as 50% and lower your monthly payments, saving you thousands of dollars in finance charges on your credit card bills. DebtHelper.com does not lend money. Debt Helper's program could have you paying off your credit card debt in full in a 3 to 5 year period. Call DebtHelper.com right now for your free confidential consultation today. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. Credit card management services Inc. DBA DebtHelper.com. 1325 North Congress Avenue, number 201, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33341. Down payment of debt may be creditors to increase finance and other charges or undertake collection activity, including litigation.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ganapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ganapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ganapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit GanapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
Back in the Sports Lounge, I'm Michael Horn with the star of our show, the All-Pro defensive end, football legend, acting superstar, the iconic star of Hunter, Land's End, Crisis, Agent X, the list goes on and on and on, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so much, and thank you folks for tuning in. We sure appreciate it. Look, we have we have notes here. Again, as I said when I opened the show up, there's just not anything happening in the world of sports.
Well,
except,
wait.
Well, let me finish.
Okay.
Should I?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's nothing here about anything of it. It's like 6-7 pages here, 8 pages.
Well, but
that
okay,
really
okay.
have no value at all.
Well, here's the value. You got the world champion Cubs. In the last week, they lost a series to the Dodgers and to the Padres, who are bottom dwellers in the National League West. And so those Cubs got swept by 2 teams. What is wrong with these Cubs here? The Cubbies. I mean, come on. They won it once. What, are they going to go back for another 100 years and, not win anything?
Well, they're not focused yet.
So, okay, let me ask you another personal question if I can.
Yeah.
You're in the Super Bowl. What was that year? Was it 69, 70? What was the year the Rams were in the Super Bowl?
My tenure, it was in January of 80.
January of 80. There you go. Pardon me. So January 80, you're in the Super Bowl. You didn't win, so that's, of course, maybe this isn't a fair question. But let's say you win the Super Bowl. How do you get your head in to start the next season? Your basketball team, like the Lakers, where they had championship after championship, or the Celtics, when they did it. How do you get your head ready to go for the next year to make it happen? Because it seems like these Cubbies are starting to be in a little bit of a letdown stage.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I mean, they're human beings, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were just kind of still mesmerized in that bathing in the glow of such tremendous success.
What about that second baseman they had went over to the rivals, the Cardinals, and he's not doing well over there at the Cardinals, and the Cubs have somebody different. Maybe the chemistry is off.
Fowler?
Yeah, is it Fowler? No, it's the other guy, the second baseman.
Zobrist?
Yeah, no, not Zobrist.
No, he came from Kansas City, didn't he?
Yeah, I'll look it up for you anyway. But I'm just wondering what's happening, with the team makeup. Something's going on.
Well, look, it's 175,000 games they play every year, and
is that how many?
it's
you actually counted them?
Yes, and there's football, and there's a football season coming along now, and everything is all these players are gearing up, for a new season. And baseball players, some of them, like the Dodgers, are really appear to be hungrier at this point in time because they think that they're ready to win it, which is great. There's other teams that are that way, and there's other teams like the Padres, where 50 games into the season are going nowhere, and they cannot wait to take the bus home.
Yeah.
So. There's all kinds of different things going on all at once, and then you have the defending champions, who are in that malaise, that lukewarm bathwater of success, that now has them pigeonholed as slackers, and their pitchers aren't hitting their spots. You watch the series here in L.A., and Arrieta, and all their pitchers got hit.
Yeah,
and that's that's just. The fine focus of what is necessary. The whole game is based on pitching, and if you don't pitch that well, you you can expect what you're getting out of the Cubs.
Well, yeah, and so that's kind of weighs on them a little bit when they're getting going. But if you have a good manager, can't the manager kind of turn that around a little bit? Make things happen for you a little bit.
Well, he can help understand it by having been there before. He's a good baseball man, Madden, for the Cubs, and he's you might say that he is patient, and he needs to be, and he probably gives them time off and probably tries to help them snap out of it. He's one of these guys that say, okay, we're going to LA, so bring your teddy bear and your blanket and your pajamas, because we're going to get on the airplane together and take a nap. So he has that philosophy, which is fine, which is a realistic philosophy. You're not going to demand and crack the whip that people hold their nose to the grindstone for 162 games.
Plus, do other teams gun for you when you win a championship, no matter what your sport?
Yeah, sure. The Dodgers geared up and they pitched very well against them, and they hit their pitching.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens after the All-Star game.
All right, that big All-Star game's coming up. That
it's got to be
that
right.
All-Star. Let's talk about that. It's nothing like it used to be. It's like, come on.
Oh no, it's terrible.
It's just
they got to stop playing it, I think.
The whole game has been wussified over there. It's like, just slide into the bases, dive in.
Well, you can get into you can go through these pages that we have here that I'm holding up right now.
Yes.
And take a look at all of the wusses that are in pro football today. It's disgusting.
We continue straight ahead. It's the Sports Lounge with the one and only Fred Dreyer.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Wonder Woman opens this week and hopes to breathe life into a struggling DC universe. Chris Pine says this about his character, Steve Trevor.
He's kind of a world-weary figure, I suppose, in Wonder Woman's life. And he's seen a lot and seen the ravages of the First World War. You can tell that he's just seen a fair bit of pain.
For reviews, interviews, and more, go to mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter at @TheMungle.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert. Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders, green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
We are back in the Sports Lounge. We being yours truly, Michael Horn with the legendary Fred Dreyer. So Dexter Fowler, he's not a second base, he's center fielder.
Yeah, that's right.
They lured him away from the Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals, and he just hasn't produced. And
No, he's been a big disappointment.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, maybe that's hurt the Cubs. At the same time, now the guy's got a lot to prove with the Cardinals, and there's a lot of mental stuff that goes on. You got to get through when you get traded. You got to be your head has to be in the right place. You did not necessarily want to play with the Patriots when you got sent there. In fact, you told them no because they didn't really come up with the deal you wanted. But
no, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
regardless of the money.
Yeah, really. Yeah, see, and that's
that was
a big deal. That's it. That's a man of principles.
Here's the deal. Here's my thinking.
Yeah.
I got drafted by the Giants in '69. I played there for 3 years.
Played out your option.
I had to leave because I saw that the organization was not capable of getting good players. That's suicide.
Yeah.
So I only have a small little window, being a young boy.
Yeah.
I only have a small window playing in a grinder. I know when I'm coming home. I know where we are.
Yeah.
I know that I have no optimism, and it's not a good thing to be. You can't play that sport.
That's a smart player.
You can't play that sport, specifically that sport, or any sport, but that's specifically that one, and not have a hope, a realistic hope of getting better every week and pushing toward a championship. So I left there. They traded me to New England. I said, look, if I come here, it's the same thing as staying with the Giants. I'll see you. Goodbye. Trade me out here. And if you don't, then I'll quit. And they said, well, I guess we got he's not coming, so we gotta get rid of him. So let's trade him where he wants to go. So they did. So there it is.
There you have. Now, I have a little information. First off, the Giants, I think, one of the problems with the Giants is they have too many hunters on their teams. They got Hunter Pence, Hunter Strickland. You can't have that many hunters. And, there should be more Bobs and Teds and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so this Hunter Strickland is a relief pitcher. Apparently back in, 2012 playoffs, there's the playoff games between the Washington Nationals. Bryce Harper hits a home run in D.C., and then when he's 4 games later, hits one out of the Giants ballpark into McCovey Cove and sort of looks at it and gloats about it. So they don't face each other until just this last week. And I guess this Hunter Strickland just drills the hip of Bryce Harper. And Harper kind of comes out to the mound, but Hunter Strickland threw a right at him. I mean, that's the most excitement in a baseball game we've had all year.
And the point is that's the most excitement we've had?
Well, I mean, what goes on with these grudges? I mean, come on, this is like
I have no idea. Look,
this is a 3-year-old
have you seen
grudge. 4
Bryce
years old.
Harper looks crazy to me. Beautifully talented athlete.
He is very talented.
He looks
but
crazy.
He looks like he could.
So anything
off.
can happen.
Well, he kind of threw his helmet and went off a little bit.
I know. These guys don't want to fight. Believe me.
But Hunter did. He threw a big right hook at the guy. His head went
He's
back.
running out to the pitcher that throws this thing at him, and he hopes he doesn't get knocked out. Number 2, he's saying to himself, "Someone jump him. Somebody jump that guy before he knocks me out."
That's right.
And it's not a win-win because you really really get hurt, and that's your livelihood. I mean, I wouldn't want my teammates to go out and you got to do what you got to do. There's no claim to manhood.
Right.
If like they're saying, why didn't Why didn't
Madison Baumgartner come out of the dugout?
He went into the locker room.
Yeah, because he's on an injury. He already was on a dirt bike or something and fell off and
he
sprained
already
something.
Did something really stupid.
Yeah,
so
he's
not qualified to be
another thing.
Another stupid fight.
Yeah.
And then what's the guy's name behind Posey?
Yeah,
he
Buster
just
Posey.
stood there for a while.
Well, it's another smart player. I would just hightail it out myself.
Well, now they're saying, why didn't you come out and protect your man? That's all nonsense stuff. That's all.
That's what I want to find out from you.
That's stuff that's ingrained in the sport, and the sport has passed these players by.
It's a wussification of the game, so what do you expect? They don't even let you slide into second base. Why should you go out there and defend your guys? Just sit around and go, oh, well.
Well,
let those two guys be like hockey. Let the two guys beat each other up, and then the umpires can just dive on them and knock them to the dirt.
That's what you should do. Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Sure. Well, why not?
The crowd, I think it would make the game more exciting. People would wake up in about the fifth inning if you did.
Here's what
like
I
that.
think.
What do you think? I like this. The look on your face tells me this could be a great idea.
If our guy wants to fight this pitcher, everybody stand back and let him go at it.
That's what I'm saying. And it becomes a boxing match and a baseball game.
Give them 1 minute of time.
In the field. So you would actually have them phone into New York and start a timer on the scoreboard, and they got a minute?
Well, the home umpire is responsible for it because he's the closest umpire. As soon as the guy charges, he runs out and tells people, stand back. Okay, go ahead. And you got 1 minute. And he's got the stopwatch. And he goes, all right, that's it. Grab him.
You wouldn't have anybody throwing at guys anymore.
Oh, I would love that. That would be just a wonderful. It's like kind of like a hockey thing. They let you go back and forth. That's one of the things that you love about hockey.
Yeah, I thought Butch Goring was out there from the old
spontaneity,
King.
The spontaneous reaction.
Tiger Williams out there.
The passion. It's really the passion.
And they in hockey they have the guys who are the defenders. So maybe in this case they could have like a guy from hockey that's a big tough guy come out on the mound for one pitch. They bring him in as a situational lefty. No, he's the bruiser that just takes this ball and throws it at the guy they want to knock out of the game.
That's what you do.
Don't you? And he'd be the defender.
Yeah, he's the hitman. They bring in the ringer, and then Bryce Harper now has to face this gorilla that's on the mound, and he goes out there and gets his arms pulled off.
That's another way we've improved the game. Now, your thoughts on that? We haven't said this already, so I'll tell you. You can follow Fred Dryer on Twitter, Fred, Fred _Dryer, Dryer. Facebook, he's on Facebook.com /The Real Fred Dryer. And we always read the emails here. Email Fred Dryer, FredDryer at crntalk.com, Fred Dryer at crntalk.com. So there you have it over there, and give us your comments and opinions on that. Now, when we come back here, is there going to be a quarterback controversy with the Rams again? We had Pat Hayden and Vince Ferragamo so many years ago when you played. Is there going to be something between this Mannion and Goff? Are there going to be like a problem there, you think?
I have no idea. Everybody's arguing about Goff, and he hasn't done anything.
Well, you can ask that young coach they got. What's the guy's name? Sean McVay? Ask him some opinions about it.
Yeah, he should. He's being paid to know whether he does or not. Who knows?
Can we bring Sean McVay in here some week? And he's
30
years old.
I don't want him in here.
Yes, I'd like to be here, Mr. Dryer. Can I sit?
I just turned 30. I really want to.
Sean,
learn.
Learn. Yeah, that's good. We continue in the Sports Lounge with Fred Dryer.
Napa know-how.
Spend $24 on anything at Napa this month, and you'll get a free Chase Elliott racing cap. You can spend it on oil. You can spend it on wiper blades. Heck, spend it on a year's supply of Pine Tree air fresheners. No matter what you spend $24 on, you'll walk away with a free Chase Elliott racing cap planted firmly on your noggin. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/17.
Staples knows that when your old, reliable laptop is more old than reliable, it's time. When regular mail is faster than email, it's time. When you can open only one application at a time and it's the calculator, it's definitely time. And it's times like these when pros turn to Staples. Staples has the latest tech at great prices, and now save up to $200 on new Dell laptops with Intel 7th generation processors. Staples, it's pro time. N6/317 while supplies last.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
We're back here in the Sports Lounge. We being yours truly, Michael Horn, with the one and only Fred Dreyer. So apparently, and I hope we're not going to get, because we get into trouble sometimes when we talk about some topics. You know, when the Dodgers had the problems between a couple of their players, whether one guy got fired or whatever, and we start talking about it, and they're involved in a legal battle right now. And the player that we talked about said we didn't know we were talking about. Well, that's par for the course on this show. Just listen to it every week and you'll figure that out. So here's the deal. You've said Bryce Harper looks like he could is a great athlete, but he could go off on somebody, is what you're saying?
He looks inbred. So
Bryce Harper has gotten his suspension because of that brawl reduced by 1 game. He originally received a 4-game ban with that fight with Hunter Strickland. He has a 3-game thing, and he's serving that. So there you have it.
We don't care.
So he's got 15 home runs. He's got a .322 average, 41 RBIs as of last week.
Numbers.
That's pretty good. I mean, he's a good player.
You're killing me with these stats.
Well, and is Dusty Baker still the manager over there with the Nationals?
Yeah.
And so Dusty used to manage the Giants. I think there's bad blood sometimes with the managers. And did Bruce Bochy get a little upset that Dusty, allowed his bench to brawl off? If I'm the Nationals, you don't want to fight. You kind of throw yourself against the gate of the clubhouse to make sure they don't go on the field.
Yeah, well, baseball actually, in many, many ways, is a dead sport.
Well, it isn't lively, but, there are some good games. Come on.
Well, look, there's 100. They've got way too many games.
I like them. I'm sorry. I like the games. But there's so many games that don't mean as much when they play like 5 games or 7 games in the playoffs, and that's it. And then this All-Star game, we're going to talk about this. Back in the day, it really meant something. The American League beating the National League or the National League beating the American League. Now it's just home run derby. And I give credit to who is it? Is it Cody Bellinger that says if he goes to the All, somebody's not going to be? It's Mike Trout. Mike Trout, who is a veteran, says if he's on the All-Star, he won't participate in that stupid home run derby. And I agree with that because it's screwed up more players than ever. This guy throws a big fat ball, and ever since Yasiel Puig was in that, he hasn't been the same player until this year. He's gotten a little better.
I agree. I think that the home run derby is asinine. To have your father or your uncle lob pitches to you and have you hit them and the idiot crowd go, oh, did you see how far that went? This type of stuff is what kills the goose.
Now, hold on a second, because you have brought up another point that I was not aware of. Is it if you're in the home run derby, do you bring your father or your uncle?
You can have anybody you want throw you balls.
So your father or your uncle can
That's correct.
You have your own pitcher?
Who was it? Jock Peterson a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he went in
had his cousin, his uncle or somebody come in and throw him to him. His high school coach or somebody.
It throws the player off for the rest of the year. I think they should get rid of that.
Many say it does. Some say it doesn't. And so I don't care one way or another. I just want them to get rid of it. They are continuing to milk and to, I call it the great whale harvesting. Is when they go out and they catch a whale, and not only do they take all the oil out of it, they use every aspect of that whale, which is ecologically
back in the old days.
It makes sense, to harvest the whale and
now,
use every single aspect of the whale. They're doing the same thing. They're butchering sports. They're breaking it down into little sections and little moments, and they're now going to talk about, in pro football, they got to have someone out to talk about beating up your girlfriend or your wife. Then they got to have somebody here now start to say, who do you want to have? I'm having my high school coach who really helped me out. He's going to come here and he's going to pitch and I just know I'm going to win the Derby. This is like we go to the Dodger game, and the people around me where I sit. I see how easily they're entertained and how tolerant they are of what is being pushed down their throat. And what is being pushed down their throat is this crap that these teams now put together. Major League Baseball, Dodger games, Angel games, all of these baseball games now are like a game show with the baseball game attached to it.
Don't you spend your time? You sit around in the food lounge, don't you? You usually go up to the buffet a couple of times yourself.
I go to the beautiful restaurant and I enjoy the buffet. I watch a couple of innings on TV. I run into people that I would normally run into, and I sit and talk with them, and we have a good time. We talk about what's happening in the organization. We exchange ideas. We do the whole thing. Then I go back out and I sit and watch the 6.5, 7 innings, and I am pounded with the jackasses, in between innings, where the person comes on, instead of singing, the anthem, they'll come on and sing "Take Me Out the Ball Game," and then they'll have a person come on, a midget or somebody, a circus performer come out and put a T-shirt. Listen to me, put a T-shirt into one of these pop guns and start pushing and just shooting clothing into the upper deck.
It's true.
It's true. And
I didn't realize they were circus performers.
No, it's just beyond anything.
They closed down Ringling Brothers.
No, it's just beyond any comprehension. I am not that tolerant. I'm too old to realize, and I genuflect when I go into the game and when I leave.
You and I, back when we were kids back in 1920, remember when they used to have that all-star baseball game on TV where they would have Al Kaline going up against so-and-so, but they had one pitcher out there. They had like Carol Behringer, the batting practice pitcher, throwing in the BBs up there for him to hit, and they'd have Mickey Mantle against, Willie Mays or something. That was good, fun on television. They had the home run challenge. Remember that game?
Well, that was in the 60s.
I know.
Out at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, out at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles.
I remember that.
I could even pop one out of that ball.
Well, that was different, and I loved it because they had Mickey Mantle on, and he couldn't speak.
You experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hey there! Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
It's the Sports Lounge. Michael Horn, Fred Dreyer, CRN Digital Talk Radio. So, have you ever fished? Have you ever been gone out and been one of the anglers over there and catch trout or something?
My father used to take us up to Mammoth Lakes, to Twin Lakes.
Yep.
To fish as kids with my uncle.
You and your brother, your uncle, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Apparently, Howard Price, our sales guy, is up in Colorado Springs, up in the Green Mountain area, and somebody threw some fish illegally into the Green Mountain reservoir, and these fish are like little voracious sap, and they're eating up all the other fish over there. So the wildlife, fish and game people are saying, go up there, go fishing, get rid of these little varmints out of there, the little mouth bluegills or whatever they call them up there, and they'll give you $20 a fish. Plus, you can keep the fish if you want to eat them, or you can donate them to somebody else and they can go. But you can go up there, and as you fish, they'll give you $20 for every one you catch up at the Green Mountain, Colorado area. Because if they release the water out of the reservoirs and stuff, they're afraid the fish are going to go down there into the Colorado River and other tributaries and cause a problem.
You know what they should do?
I was hoping you'd have come with a solution.
They should get about 3 dozen tilapia.
What does that have to do with it?
And release them.
Well, the tilapia would probably be eaten by this other voracious.
Tilapia gang up on those types of fish.
Yeah, the M13 gang members.
And they just beat them. And they'll go belly up and just scoop them off the top. And then you bring in,
I'm being serious here about a major problem, and you're bringing in tilapia.
And then you bring in a lot of people who love tilapia, and they can fish them out.
Trying to let our audience know they get $20 a fish if they go check with the Colorado Fish and Wildlife there in the Green Mountain area.
Tilapia is a friendly, generic fish.
You ate tilapia one time in your life.
Oh, I've eaten more than that.
And you were there with Bob Moore, our good friend, and Bob Moore ruined it for you at Bob's Big Boy.
I knew that.
They were out of salmon, and you enjoyed the tilapia so much you went through your customary, like after you have one salmon, you go, this is really good, can I have another? And then they brought you another tilapia until Bob Moore told you about that guy said they were bottom feeders. And that the look on your face.
Just like shellfish.
You haven't had tilapia.
How many people eat shellfish? And those are turd pile fish.
Easy. They clean out those veins, those sand veins.
No. Believe me, I heard
they call them a sand vein. I call my thing something else.
I heard that restaurant that night.
You ate the 2 tilapia.
I ate 2 plates of tilapia.
I know. She just wouldn't stop.
And the chef came out to look at me.
He did.
Said, get back in there.
And then you went into that place, which has since closed down, becoming a Starbucks. And I think you literally took them out of business because they had kind of an all-you-can-eat salad bar. And when you go into a restaurant that's all-you-can-eat, it's all-you-can-eat. And they used to go in there, and I think they'd see you in the parking lot, and they'd start taking things like cucumbers off the salad bar to save them from the other customers.
I think it's the logo that had to go, the logo of the restaurant.
Bob's Big Boy, the Bob's holding the hamburger. What's wrong with it?
Can you get that?
You're about the 9th person that's asked me.
Can you
it's
get
plowed
the
down?
Bob?
It's gone.
Is it gone already?
I'm sure it's gone. Maybe they have it. I'll ask.
Well, you should put
you
it in your front yard.
Front yard of your house?
You could put it in your front yard.
I would give it to Bob Moore, our friend.
Bob Moore should have the Bob's Big Boy.
Bob's Big Boy.
The fiberglass guy, a fat little kid.
Yeah, he's holding the hamburger over there.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I remember when those things first went up. And those things work. Those gimmicks where they say, "Look, Mom, the Bob's Big Boy. Let's go in there." It worked.
It worked when I took you in there that time. You got excited.
Not because of Bob, though, but because it was free food.
Maybe it was that waitress. I can't remember. There was something going on there. But that's a show. I got to tell you. Don't forget, follow Fred on Twitter. Fred_Dryer. Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dryer. And, of course, email him because we like to read those emails. FredDryer@crntalk.com.
Enjoying all your favorite CRN programming is easier than ever. It's right on your TV, through your local cable provider, and on the web at crntalk.com. But when you're on the move, stuck in a plane, train, or in your car, catch up on all the shows you missed, or listen live to your favorites. Download